Come on in. Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Nick, also known as OSOSIK, and I am the owner of OSOSIK Media, and behind me is my 2017 Honda Civic Si. It's SEMA, and the car, just like anybody else here probably, the car was completely stripped, rolling shell, barely, and we got it done in time. It started off as a regular 1.5 fuel economy Civic, but fast forward a couple years to now it's a dedicated race car, a drag car to be specific. It is still the 1.5 liter, but pretty much everything has been customized. The motor is actually still very simple. It's sleeves, pistons, rods, and then valve springs and retainers. But other than that, you know, no point polish, no bigger stroke, just pretty much still very OEM, but a lot of boost and a lot more nitrous. We are running the Hondata Flash Pro, and that allows us to tune the ECU. But with the nitrous, it's actually activated through a switch, and we utilize pretty much, the reason why we stuck with the OEM ECU is because the new 10th generation Civics have a lot of technology behind it. So like we can have boost by gear, traction control, so it's all done through the Flash Pro, so that just makes it a lot more easier. And as we start moving towards, you know, the outside, obviously I have slicks in the front and then the rear skinnies in the back. We actually got rid of the electronic e-brake system and we put a staging brake in there, so that's pretty cool. At one point I did want to make this car go back to stock, but once you put a cage in it, there's no turning back. So that now it's Lexan windows. Pretty happy because we finally made over 800 horsepower to the motor, and it did blow. But it was one of those cheerful blows because we realized, wow, we actually pushed the limits of anything that's available on the market. So a lot of the stuff was off the shelf. The data that we got from there, we realized it's time to go custom. So we're getting custom rods made. The pistons should be good. And we're shooting, honestly, for just reliability at this point. We want it to last more than 10 pulls. And we're ready to go to the drag strip, to be honest. So the goal is to go 9s. When we go 9s, I'll actually probably campaign the car through the country just for like one season, and I actually want to turn it into a time attack car. Just because if anybody follows the 10 gen community, the Type Rs are like the king of the road course, right? But I feel I make the power to keep up with them. So I'll get rid of the hood exit, get a full exhaust, put a filter on the intake side, and bigger brakes, and I should be good. Maybe, and obviously some aero. Turbo kit was made by P2 Fabrication. We got the Garrett G25 660, and then from there I told them, this is a turbo I'm running. I'd like a hood exit, and I would like the passenger headlight to be the intake. Figure it out. But no, those guys are really good at what they do. So they fabricated literally everything, and the intercooler is actually just a Garrett core, and we made it fit. PPG gear sets, so it's 1 through 4. And then we also have half sport mounts all around. I was probably the first person to realize the mounts are probably one of the most important aspects for drag racing a 10th generation Civic. The new cars, they have a lot of wheel shape, and just by switching the rear mount, it actually helped kind of settle the car to where you didn't get as much, but obviously the more power you start making, that wheel hop starts coming back again. So from there, it's the guys over at Hasport ended up making the full mount kit, and also I have slicks to help absorb the shock. So doing that without the traditional stuff, which is like a traction bar. So that was a pretty cool journey in itself, because for a little bit I did feel like I was breaking the car, but it's just a learning curve, right? It was a new platform and just trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. And one of the biggest hurdles we had and overcame was the head lifting. even with the aftermarket head studs that are available, they weren't strong enough to keep the head clamp down for our setup. So we have custom head studs. We are also step decked, O-ringed, really just like the sport four-wheel drive class. Just implemented some of those techniques, and ever since, never had any issues with that. So that's really good. Have a spoon valve cover. That's pretty cool. We did that exclusively for the SEMA Show. If you have one, it's just with black plastic and it's missing something. So we've gone 10.7 at 141 miles an hour. Since the new setup, which is the current state, have not tested it yet, but we do plan after this show. It is ready. We're gonna try to rent the track, and the soonest available date, we're gonna go back out while it's boost season and go for 9s. That's all we wanna hit. We just wanna hit 9s once. I started my career in this industry just doing media stuff, right? And with this build, I was one of the pioneers to actually keep progressing the platform. And what that ended up kind of opening up for me is actually just to create my own shop, or open up my own shop. I've always worked out of my house in the garage, or when I was younger out of my parents' garage. But this really kind of created a market and people coming to me asking for help. So I finally opened up a shop, and it's called OSOSIK eShop. Go with that is just a virtual shop that anybody could go to my channel and learn how to do something themselves, or if they wanted to, they can set an appointment and come. But I really want to focus on just the 10-gen market because that's what I put so much time and effort into, and I'm going to continue to keep pushing it further.